Hello and welcome to Community Report. I'm Vicki Pritchard. Pat Medita is the Executive Director of the Sharonville Fine Arts Center, and Sue Cates is the Executive Director of the Sharonville Community Center. Ladies, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Great to have you here and to talk about the arts in Sharonville. Sue, let's begin with you and tell us about a little bit of the history of how the Sharonville Fine Arts Council came to be to begin with.
Sure. It actually stemmed out of community theater where we were running Shakespeare in the park for about 9 or 10 years, and we wanted to form our own community theater group. We then looked at becoming an arts council, forming an arts council. We did that in 2001, and then we received our 501c3 status in early 2002. So we are in about our 11th year, which is still considered infancy stage for arts organizations. As far as operating as the Fine Arts Center, then that began when we rehabbed the buildings in 2008 and early 2009.
What are some of the details, some of the reasons that it was founded to begin with and what it's done?
Okay. Basically, especially with the center itself, one of our main goals was to preserve the historic nature of the theater. It has an extremely rich history, and anybody who's lived in Sharonville for any amount of time has wonderful memories and stories about it, specifically the Act One Theater.
Oh, nice.
We also, over time, have wanted to create a very important economic anchor for the downtown area, and it's really traditional, and actually it's getting increasingly more important that arts organizations are partnering with community centers, recreation departments, with area churches, with to enhance programming in the area and to really focus on the arts.
So you really had a benefit of having a wonderful historic building, a great venue for this, which not everyone has, and this great outreach in the community now.
Right.
It sounds like. So is there a mission that the whole center embodies?
Yes, our mission has been the same since day one, and that's been to create a comprehensive cultural and arts initiative, not only for Sharonville, but for the entire region.
Tell us a bit about, what's the story, the history of the building itself? I'm sure there are some wonderful stories embedded in those walls.
There are. I'll tell you, it's got a very rich history, and I've most recently been working with Dr. Darren Upp. He is the curator of the Sharonville Historic Society, and he's just wonderful. He has so much knowledge, but this building in particular was built in 1919, and it was created as a movie house. The theater actually back then was running silent movies.
Oh, wow.
And they used area musicians to come in and play the piano.
Is that right?
It's wonderful. The upstairs was a vaudeville dance hall, and they would even run live performances down in the theater. So it's just a wonderful history. The theater itself has actually had 3 different names. It started out as the Victor Theater, and probably in the 30s, 40s, it then went to the Sharon Theater, and what most people realize or recognize it as was the Act One Theater. That was the last name that was on the theater. We also have 2 other buildings that are attached to the theater, and we've rehabbed those. At one time, the one was a Sharonville bottling company, and those bottles are now very collectible. And the other side, which is now our gallery, it was a variety of things. It was in the earliest stages, and it actually was built in the late 1800s, and it was a stable. It was a small grocery store, so it's actually had a lot of purpose over the years.
How wonderful that over the course, many decades, there were obviously some people in place that realized we have to maintain this, that someone didn't come in, tear it down, or completely distort what it was, but maintain the integrity of this building over this time so that now you can use it for your purposes, which include, what does the building host right now? What are some of the specifics?
We actually have 4 venues within the building. We have the art gallery, which is called the Westheimer Gallery, named after John Westheimer. And we also have obviously the live performance theater. When the movie house was built, there was not a stage in there at the time. So we built that out to be able to host live performances.
Oh, very nice.
And we also have a music room and what we call the loft upstairs. Again, that used to be the Vaudeville Dance Hall. We now have artist studios up there, working artist studios, and it's another venue for meetings and receptions and things like that.
And these are all local artists?
Within the Cincinnati area.
Oh, okay.
The artist lofts there are a lot of people. There's a lot of artists in Cincinnati. Cincinnati's very rich culturally, and there's always need. Artists are always looking for studio space.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, we actually were able to rent those very quickly once we set them up.
Pat, tell us about some of the activities that take place within the center.
Certainly. We have 2 in-house theater companies. One is called the Tri-County Players, and the other one is Stagecrafters, Inc. They put on 3 plays during the season, and the season is September through June, at obviously varying times. They just finished, the Stagecrafters just finished their run in the time of old age, and now the next one is going to be Nuptials by the Tri-County Players, and after that it's Ilamasonary by Stagecrafters, and that's the end of the season then. We have music lessons in the front of the building on the right-hand side is our music room. It has a piano, and we have the Sharp School of Music in there, and she will bring in teachers depending on what it is that somebody wants. So if you're looking to have guitar lessons, she will find you a guitar teacher. Most of the teachers are graduate students at CCM. So they're working on their doctorates, and it's been interesting to hear these people. We have a variety of voice and violin and piano. And
that's fabulous.
It's really great. I mean, all these young kids, and it's just they get to come to our old building and see the old building.
Right.
You know, it's just, and it starts a new generation of people.
Absolutely.
So we have an acting class upstairs, a gentleman who teaches acting upstairs on Thursday nights. We have just different classes. We've had photography. We did a introduction to an iPad class.
Important class.
Yes, exactly.
Capacity, right?
It was wonderful, and we're going to have a summer drama camp.
Oh, terrific.
It's going to be run by Susan Wider, who just retired from Sharonville Elementary. She's a 30-year teacher at Sharonville Elementary, and it's for younger children. And it's going to be at a Shakespeare-based drama camp for 2 weeks.
Oh, excellent. And
then we just did a children's birthday party. And then we did a children's tea party, and they made their own tea set. Sue ran that one. And so it's a craft thing, but they made their own tea baskets, and it was just darling, just darling. And then we do movies and dinners. Fundraisers. Next week we're having the Race for the Cure is coming in and doing a wine tasting.
Nice.
Yes, upstairs in the loft, and we'll be showing. They'll have a band, and it's a fundraiser for the Race for the Cure that's coming up at Princeton High School, and then we have monthly artist receptions. We have artists that go in. We switch our artists out every month.
Oh,
so they have an opening reception, and then we keep the gallery open at specific times.
Well, it's terrific because not only is it's a venue for entertainment, but also education in the arts. What a great resource. It's amazing the people, the talent that you brought on board. That has to have been a long work in progress and cultivating many relationships. Is there a committee in place ongoing that is out there working to bring these people together?
Well, they seem to find us. Yes, artists
are always looking. How do people find?
Well, they go on our webpage. It's word of mouth. A lot of it is word of mouth. Artists are always looking for a venue to show their art, whatever it is, either be music, or artists, or performance artists, just whatever. They're always looking for a place.
Right.
We have great parking. We're easy to find.
That's key.
Yes, it's very key. And And that we have a web page. I do email blasts.
Social media.
Social media,
right.
Absolutely social media. That is the way to go anymore.
Right.
It's Facebook and all that.
Exactly. Well, Pat, how is it funded? Where does your support come from?
Lots of different things. We have memberships. We have both corporate memberships and family and individual memberships. Mm-hmm. We have donations. We're always, like most artists, most art venues, we are always looking for donations. We are a 501c3, so this is a taxable write-off. We have funding partners. The city of Sharonville has been wonderful in helping us, and also corporate sponsors. And then revenues from activities.
So multiple sources.
Multiple sources.
What, as far as the memberships go, are there varying levels?
Yes, there are.
Tell us about those.
The corporate memberships, we have 3 levels. We have $100, $500, and $1,000. Okay. And each level has different perks. Okay. And when you join on our membership application, it shows you what you get. Mm-hmm. You get free buy one, get one free tickets. You get half rental on the artist loft if you want to rent it, depending on what level you are. And then the family membership is $25 and the individual is $10. So it's a modest fee. Okay. But it shows that you support your local organization.
Exactly.
You know, we want to make it so that people can afford it.
Yes. And let's go back to, you'd mentioned renters. What kind of renters are you looking for the center?
Anybody and everybody. We have people who've done birthday parties. We have people who are interested in doing corporate events, such as a training session. Someone who is in the financial industry, who wants to bring his or her customers, clients in and present and have a speaker. They can use a theater for that. We've got 140 seats in the theater. So that would be venue. Then we have somebody who's in the insurance industry, again, bringing in an outside speaker, but it's a small, intimate venue.
Right, very nice.
Very easy to get to. Once again, it's parking. Yes. There are local restaurants you can go to. They can also have it catering brought in, and we can serve them upstairs in the loft.
Oh, that's great.
So there's that kind of thing. We're going to have a wedding.
You?
Yeah, it's a second marriage, and she's having her wedding in the theater.
Oh, that's fabulous.
Isn't that great?
Yes,
I love it. Everybody gets to sit and watch her. And
it's a performance.
It's a performance, exactly.
That's great.
We have somebody who wants to do their daughter's graduation party there.
Oh, very nice.
She's majoring in theater.
Yes, perfect.
So
what could be better?
she's going to do an open mic session. She was thinking of showing a movie. I said, no, do an open mic.
That's fabulous.
Wouldn't that be cool? She said, all my geeky friends can come in and perform, and all the parents are upstairs, and they can come down and see their kids.
Creative, it's the perfect venue for that.
Exactly. So it's so weird. I like to think of us as being very fluid and very flexible.
Yes.
Because you have to be flexible.
Very agile in how you approach things.
So the iPad classes were in the gallery, we're going to have summer drama camp. That's going to be upstairs in the loft, and the performance is going to be in the theater.
Excellent.
So it's, creativity.
Absolutely. It's what it's
Stepping
all about.
out of boxes.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Well, now you do have a fundraiser, a Gala event coming up soon.
Yes, our Spotlight on the Arts. It's our big fundraiser. It's a Spotlight on the Arts. It's April 19th, Friday, April 19th at the Sharonville Convention Center. It starts at 5:30. We will have 10 to 12 mixed media artists. So we will have somebody who makes baskets, and then we have jewelry and painters and various mediums, and photographers and sculptors, and it's right now we're still setting up who's coming. So it's just going to be a mixed bag, but lots of neat things to see. Everything is for sale.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes. We will have a wonderful dinner that the Ovations caterers are going to do. It's creating a meal for us specifically. And then we are going to have music, Anna and Milovan, who are
Oh, they're terrific. I've heard them.
Okay, exactly.
I'll come just to hear them.
There you go. They're going to be there. Yes.
They have a following.
That's
wonderful.
what I've heard. And so they're going to be
terrific.
our musical artists. And then Dusty Rhodes is our MC.
Oh, great.
And we're going to be honoring some people. This year, Bill Lewis is going to be honored as the Community Achievement Award. His father was the one who had the Sharon Theater. He grew up in the apartment in what is now our loft.
That is as it should be then.
Exactly. He's forever long time Sharonville resident, supporter of ours.
Oh, that's outstanding.
So we just thought that it would be such an appropriate thing to do, is to be able to honor him for what he's done for Sharonville and for the arts in Sharonville.
What an
and then we'll have 2 corporate awards that night. And then baskets. you know, where you can buy
Sure, silent auction items, right?
Exactly. Just it's a nice fundraising
event.
Easy.
Is this the first event of this nature, or do
No,
you do this
which
on
is
a
our-
This is about our ninth year.
Oh, great.
Yes, but it
Great.
just keeps growing and growing and growing. So
terrific.
we're looking for corporate sponsorships,
Okay.
and all that information is on our webpage.
And where can people who, if they want to find out about sponsorship or about attendance, what is the webpage? Where do they go to find out more information?
www.sharonvillefinearts.org.
All right.
Our phone number is 513-554-1014.
All right. Ladies, thank you so much. What an outstanding event. I want to come. It sounds
well,
like you
good.
have just a
Please do.
terrific evening planned out.
It's fun.
You've been watching Community Report. I'm Vicki Pritchard. Thanks so much for watching, and please join us again next week. If you're a community leader and interested in being on Community Report, give us a call here at the ICRC 772-4272.